Well, I know that you've been moving towards the goal of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I believe in police defunding. And I know that you've been talking about police reform for decades. What's your stance on police defunding?
I think that we need to have the funds of police distributed differently. Mm-hmm. Some in the mental health, some in the dealing with community policing. I think that we need a police presence, but it should be done in conjunction with the community, with community policing, where they're not an unoccupied, like an occupied force, rather, because we still have to deal with the problem of crime in our community. A month after I did George Floyd's funeral, don't forget I had to do the funeral of a one-year-old boy killed by a stray bullet in Bed-Stuy. Mm-hmm. So let's not act like we don't live in communities where at times we have to fear the cops and the robbers. Mm-hmm. And we've got to be able to deal with this in a sane way.
Now, Reverend, now you veering a little bit into that black-on-black crime conversation that the conservatives like to use against us when we're saying that, you know what, we've got to get a hold on this police brutality. And they're like, well, what about black-on-black crime? You know, so I usually don't, you know, kind of conflate the two, because I feel like it gives those racists and those kind of people license to then say, well, what about what y'all doing in your communities? What's your take on that?
You're right. You're right. And my take on that is that the kids that engage in violence, and that's what I said at these funerals, they don't have a gun manufacturing company. They don't make bullets. So when you talk about black-on-black crime, where do they get the weapons from? And why haven't y'all put laws in place that stop gun manufacturers from inundating our communities with guns and bullets? It still goes back to them. Even after you had all this shooting at Parkside School and you had a beautiful, huge rally of those young people, they wouldn't even pass a background check bill because the NRA was that strong. So they can't lecture us. The problem of crime in our community still comes from those outsiders that make money off of giving our kids guns that where they won't give them jobs. And don't talk about black on black. What about white on white crime? Every community, the most crime is committed by those living in the community. That's not distinct to us, and we can't accept that.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Al, for clearing that up, because, you know, I got all these nice white listeners. I don't want them to get the wrong idea around these parts.
That's right.